What's up, decoders? Welcome back. Good day to you all. Welcome to the live stream. And let's get those thumbs up in the chat. Make sure that sound is coming through clear. Give me those thumbs up. You guys know the drill. Scotty Do-Right says I have no sound. Well, that's weird because, can anyone in the chat verify that there's no sound? Yeah, Scotty says there's no sound. I'm not sure. Hold on, let me check this. Yeah, everything looks good. Oh, okay. All right, thanks, Scotty. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I hadn't started yet when you wrote that. Okay. All right. Well, everyone else says the sound is good, so thank you guys for giving those thumbs up. Please hit the like buttons if you're just getting in. It says we only have 13 in the chat, so let's give a few minutes for some people to join. So, how's everyone doing out there today? Hey, Joseph. Hey, brother. Hope you're doing well. Much love to you and the family. Hello, Birdie. Hello, Paula. Hello, Jose. Hello, Scotty. Coffee Girl. JJ Recon. Hello to all of you. Yeah, we'll give another couple minutes like usual. We'll wait for some people. You know, guys, to be honest, this decode is not going to be one of my most thorough decodes, but we're going to go over the symbolism of everything going on right now with the Oz riddle. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. I'm going to make a bunch of connections with things that are going on. And yeah, a little bit less numbers than usual, but definitely still some good connections here. And once everyone's getting in the chat, we'll go ahead and get started. But hello, all is one sun. Hello. Let's see. Midwest Perspectives. Another War Machine. Betty, hello. Hello to you. Yeah, we'll give it one more minute, guys, and then we'll get ready to hop into it. There hasn't been a lot going on right now, right? The news has been, shall I say, very slow lately. Does anyone feel that? Does anyone kind of get that things have been very, very slow? The election happened, and then it was just like nothing happens anymore after the election. So either that's a good thing, or they're preparing for a big event out of nowhere. The lull before the storm, I guess. The calm before the storm, huh? But I think 2025 is going to be an eventful year. I think 2025 is going to be an eventful year, guys. I really do. So I think they're giving us a bit of a break for a little bit. But I think calm before the storm is a good way to put it. Let's see. Everyone said he's intelligent. Another War Machine says all the intelligence assets are on a needed vacation. Yeah. Yeah. That's probably it. Yeah, next year is a snake, the year of the snake, right? And the year of the snake, I've done decodes on that. The year of the snake is when 9/11 happened. The year of the snake, I believe, was Pearl Harbor year, if I'm not mistaken. The year of the snake is a very, very eventful year. So what I'm saying is when January 28th, 2025 comes around, the snake year comes, and it could be a very eventful year. So it's kind of good. I mean, we've all been taking a little bit of break. You know, I haven't been doing as much decoding. But yeah, once again, thank you guys for stopping in. It's funny that you mentioned Zion Spirit Miracle because I saw a connection with that earlier, Zion. So yeah, hopefully the good thing that I can expect next year is Trump takes away taxes on stuff. That I would welcome, but I'm not saying Trump is a good guy at all by any means, but I would welcome the tax breaks, of course. Of course, I don't make very much any way to get taxed a lot, but yeah. Anyway, let's get ready. Got 61 in the chat. Let's get ready to jump in. Please hit those like buttons, guys. We got 61 in the chat. Please get those likes up to 61 if you can. And we're going to go ahead and jump in. And to all of you watching on a replay, thank you guys so much. And I appreciate you all. So here we go. So Trump, he selected Dr. Oz. I forget what day that was. He chose Dr. Oz as his medical person, director of the medical, whatever you call it. I'm not sure what the name of it is anymore. But Dr. Oz, and of course, immediately when you see Dr. Oz, you should immediately think the Wizard of Oz. And of course, right after Trump selects Dr. Oz, you have the movie, the big blockbuster movie of the year coming out, Wicked, which is based off of Wizard of Oz. Okay. And then a few days from now, to follow up the Dr. Oz thing and the Wicked movie, WWE is going to be in Vancouver, Canada for a show called Survivor Series War Games. And let me show you how this is connected to War Pigs and Black Sabbath and Ozzy Osbourne. Okay, so this is what we're going to bring together in this decode. Ozzy Osbourne, Dr. Oz, the Wizard of Oz, witches, wizards. Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, witchcraft, okay? And yeah, it's pretty clear what they're doing right now. Pretty clear. And yes, Ozzy Osbourne does equal 201. Just for the sake of sharing that, Ozzy Osbourne does equal 201. But yeah, let's get into it. So Trump picks former WWE CEO and Dr. Oz for top roles. Okay, do you guys understand what this is telling you? In the same article, it says Trump selects WWE CEO Linda McMahon, the wife of Vince McMahon. Remember, Trump shaved Vince McMahon's hair at WrestleMania 23. Okay, but anyway, he selects the WWE CEO Vince McMahon or Linda McMahon and Dr. Oz. Okay, so this is pointing you. Okay, this is pointing you to WWE and Dr. Oz at the same time. Okay, so the WWE thing I'm about ready to show you is clearly tied to this. Okay, and of course, you're going to see a lot of articles talking about how Dr. Oz has baseless medical claims. Okay. Dr. Oz is born on June 11th. So we gotta say Jurassic Liars. You guys know his channel. He's been talking about June 11th in Seattle. Well, this seems to all come together with that, okay? Because Dr. Oz's birthday is June 11th, and the War Games show is almost 6 months and 11 days before June 11th. So I'm going to show you, guys. I really think that the United States could be dragged into World War III with an attack on Seattle, Washington. Of course, Jurassic has said something's going to happen in Seattle, but I really think that would be a very likely scenario. Not saying that's the absolute scenario, but an attack on Seattle could be in the cards, okay? So anyway, keep in mind, WWE CEO is selected by Trump and Dr. Oz, okay? So who is Mehmet Oz? So first of all, Mehmet Oz equals 666 like witchcraft. So let me show you that. So notice how Mehmet Oz has the 111, okay, and the 42 like war or world war. Let me bring up the 42s. All right. So Mehmet Oz equals world war and war. All right. And he was selected on 42 days left in the year, Joseph says. Okay, well, that makes sense. So why is the Wizard of Oz connected to World War? Well, again, please hit those like buttons, guys. What I'm showing you here in this decode is big stuff. I'm telling you, it may not be the best decode ever, but we're going to bring it all together. So Mehmet Oz equals World War. Okay, well, World War II started just days after the release of The Wizard of Oz. The World War II started on September 1st, 1939. The Wizard of Oz was released August 10th, 1939, or August 25th, 1939. So, like literally 7 days, 6 or 7 days before World War II started, this movie releases. It was also 102 minutes long, guys. Art of War equals 102. Let me show you this. Hold on. Art of War 102. Okay. The Wizard of Oz was 102 minutes long, and it started. It released in the United States just days before World War II started. Okay. Now I'm telling you that Mehmet Oz, who just got selected on the day leaving 42 days in the year, equals World War. Okay. Also, consider Mehmet Oz as a doctor. Don't forget the word V word equals 42. Okay, so this all goes back to a war on the body with the V's, which ties into Seattle because, again, Seattle, Washington is the 42nd state, and the Space Needle is in Washington. And I'm going to show you how that all ties in a minute because Seattle is known as the Emerald City. So if you guys are picking up what I'm laying down here, you have Mehmet Oz, which equals witchcraft, which equals the V word, vaccine, that word. All right. I'll bring all that up at the end. But, and again, The Wizard of Oz released just before World War II. And now we have all this war stuff popping off. Right. So let's jump in. Sorry, guys. So not only did I connect Mehmet Oz, Trump's selection, with the World War and the V word, not only that, but the same day that Trump selected Dr. Oz, he selected former WWE CEO. Well, the WWE is having an event on November 30th called War Games. Oh my goodness. Do you guys understand? WWE is having a show called Survivor Series War Games in Vancouver, Canada. British Columbia, guys. The reason I believe this is in British Columbia is because this does connect back to Great Britain. Remember, Ozzy Osbourne is British. Aleister Crowley, who I'm going to talk about, is British. We're talking about British Columbia. Columbia is the District of Columbia where the president is at. Okay? Now, Vancouver is just north of Seattle. And Seattle is in Washington State, which is the 42nd state. And again, I showed you Mehmet Oz equals 42. War equals 42. World War equals 42. Remember, and somebody in the chat saying there's a WWE show called Raw, which is the reverse of war. Okay. So the main match of this Survivor Series is going to be the two bloodlines. Two bloodlines are going to be fighting each other. Family, two sides of the family are going to be fighting each other at War Games. You see the ulafala that they're wearing? They're trying to decide who's the tribal chief of the company, right? So it's hugely symbolic, guys. Lots of symbolism here, okay? And the reason it's Vancouver is because it's the closest city. It's the closest city to Seattle, okay? That's why Seattle's connected to this. Now, Ozzy Osbourne, okay, He plays in the band Black Sabbath. And one of their most famous songs is War Pigs. And War Pigs comes from Walpurgis Night, which is a witch's Sabbath. Okay? So Ozzy Osbourne's birthday is December 3rd. So it means a few days after this War Games show will be Ozzy Osbourne's 76th birthday. Okay? And he had the song War Pigs, which means a witch's Sabbath. Walpurgis is a sort of Christmas for Satanists. And to me, war was the big Satan, said the bassist and lyricist Geezer Butler. Oh my God, his name is Geezer Butler? Well, it's interesting his name is Butler because Trump had his incident in Butler. Have to look more into that. But anyway, War Pigs connected to Walpurgis, which is connected to a witch's Sabbath. And again, let me just go back. Let me show you all the 111s and the 666s. All right, so this should bring it all together right here. So notice that the V word equals 111, like Mehmet Oz, like sorceries, like witchcraft, like Vancouver, British Columbia, where the War Games show is going to be taking place. And again, I told you War Games is coming a few days before Ozzy Osbourne's birthday. Now, in the song War Pigs, one of the most famous parts of the song is he screams the words, "Oh Lord, yeah. Oh Lord, yeah." Let me bring that up. Generals gather in their masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil minds that plot destruction, sorcerer of death's construction. In the fields, the bodies, as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh Lord, yeah. He says this over and over again. Oh Lord, yeah. Okay, well, what does that equal? It equals witchcraft. 666. All right, don't forget Ozzy Osbourne, the Prince of Darkness, is his nickname. But yeah, what's the chances that famous line in the song that he always screams before he goes into the chorus? Oh Lord, yeah. Who's the Lord he's speaking of? You know, the 666 Lord, right? Satanism. So I mean, it's just done, you know. And don't forget, War Games is in Vancouver, British Columbia, and Ozzy Osbourne is British. Okay. So it all goes back to Britain. And it's a good thing to point out that Ozzy Osbourne was born just days after the current king of Britain. Ozzy Osbourne was born December 3rd, 1948. King Charles was born November 14th, 1948. And the Jesuit Superior General, Arturo Sosa, was also born in 1948. So the Jesuit leader, Arturo Sosa, King Charles, and Ozzy Osbourne, all born in 1948. Well, that 48 is also big here because how about that, guys? All these have 48s. V-word, World War, sorceries, Donald Trump, witchcraft, war games, all equal 48. Ozzy Osbourne born in 1948. Okay? Now, let's get back to the presentation. Now, this movie that was just released, please hit those like buttons, guys. Appreciate that. The movie that was just released on the 22nd is called Wicked. And it's obviously based off of The Wizard of Oz and The Wicked Witch of the West. But these two witches are portraying the Adam and God scene. Do you guys remember the Michelangelo, the creation of Adam? Notice that the black witch is trying to help the other witch up, but they can't touch. And it says right here above their hands, it says, everyone deserves the chance to fly. So to me, this is some sort of like, I don't know, like a play on the darkness trying to pull people, into, but like kind of a tricky thing, right? It looks like this witch is flying high, right? But when you get pulled up into the darkness of the high, the Satan, right, falling like lightning, you get pulled into the green, the darkness, the green skin, like the lizard skin. Okay. Lizard, snake. We're going into a snake year. We're in the dragon year right now. This lady literally looks like a dragon even. But trying to pull the light into the dark, okay? So the divide here is very clear. And I don't think it's a coincidence this movie came out on November 22nd, the JFK day. So this cover is just super symbolic in so many ways. But yeah, don't forget the song by Ozzy Osbourne, War Pigs. Generals gather in their masses just like witches at black masses. Okay. Now, how does this all come together, guys? Remember, Washington State, where Seattle is, was the first case of the COVID. And Seattle equals 82. This is going to be the big number I'm going to talk about. 82 and 28, okay? So the War Games is happening just north of Seattle in Vancouver. And Seattle has the Space Needle. And they're called the Emerald City, which connects us back to the Wizard of Oz. The Space Needle and the Wizard of Oz connection. Seattle equals 82, guys. So that's going to be big. Just watch how this comes together. So if you go from the release of Black Sabbath's War Pigs to the upcoming WWE War Games on November 30th, look at the dates. Look at the measurement, guys. It's 28 weeks and 2 days. 28 and 82. Do you see this? What are the chances of that? Because the band that sings this song equals 82 and 28. Black Sabbath in your standard gematria equals 82 like Seattle and 28. Okay. And from the release of War Pigs to War Games is 28282. Now, not only that, the show is going to be happening in Vancouver, British Columbia, which equals 282 in ordinal. And the name of the show is War Games, which equals 82. So you see how this all comes together? I hope you guys see how that all comes together. Black Sabbath, releasing War Pigs, 282. And they're using, okay, I forgot to even mention this, guys. They're using the theme song War Pigs for this show. So it's not just a random connection. They're using this song in the trailer for this show. They're clearly connecting this song with this show. It's undeniable. That's what they put this song in the show. That's as simple as that. And the gematria lines perfectly up with it. And the date measurements. Okay. Now notice this is on a Saturday. Saturday equals 28, like Black Sabbath. Saturn is Satan. Saturn, do you see this scythe? This is all about Saturn, guys. Satan or Saturn, whatever you want to call it. I mean, they sometimes get conflated. But Saturn is the black cube, okay? The Black Sabbath. The Sabbath is the Saturday, right? And in gematria, Saturday equals 28, like Black Sabbath. Let me show you. Let me show you all the 82s and 28s. Hold on. So this should bring it all together, guys. Black Sabbath, 82 and 28, like scythe. And Saturn, the Grim Reaper, is known for his scythe. 82 and 28, like the word Pfizer, like the word COVID, like the word Seattle, and Washington was the first place for the COVID. The writer of The Wizard of Oz is Lyman Frank Baum. So let me show you who that is. L. Frank Baum. His name is Lyman. His name literally sounds like Lyman. Lyman Frank Baum. Now, Baum is a tree, and Christmas trees are right after Saturnalia. Baum. Okay, so Lyman Frank Baum, he writes The Wizard of Oz. Okay. The man behind the curtain is the puppet master, the one who pulls the strings, Saturn, time, the black cube. I don't care what you call it. It's all the same. But look at this. Black Sabbath, the name of the writer of Wizard of Oz equals 82. But anyway, what I wanted to point out here is that the word Saturday equals Black Sabbath, 28, okay? Now, 28 is also the second perfect number, just to reiterate that. So all these things connect. The show that just got released is called Wicked. And the name of the main character in the show Wicked is called, let me show, Elphaba. Elphaba Thorpe. And the way that they got this name, Elphaba, is they took the name of L. Frank Baum, or they took his name and they turned it into the name of this witch, okay? Right here. McGuire formulated the name Elphaba from the pronunciation of Baum's initials, LFB, Elphaba. You get it? Elphaba. Now, L is Satan or Saturn, okay? I've already shown that in prior videos how Saturn is connected to the word L. Faba, okay? And Faba sounds like Kaaba, right? Let me show you that. So here's the Kaaba, right? And the name of this witch is Elphaba, which just reminds me so much of the cube, okay? The black cube. And this is why she's always wearing black, right? Elphaba Thorpe. Let's see what her full name equals. I didn't check her full name. But look at the word Faba. Her name is Elphaba. That equals 28. Faba equals 28. Now, in this language here, I think this is let's see. Faba means look beautiful, or a suit, or an adornment. So basically a decoration or a suit or a covering. And look at this. Look what's popping up here. Black November. You see this, guys? Black November is popping up on my ads here. And we have Black Friday coming up. Okay. That's Black Friday. Black's Saturn's color. But anyway, suit, it's a suit. Faba means suit. Okay. So essentially, the name of this witch is God. L means God, and Faba means suit. So you could say that the witch is, her name literally means God's suit. But yeah, I mean, that's really interesting. And let's see what her name equals. Hold on. Oh my goodness. Look at her name, guys. Elphaba Thorpe. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Look at that. Her name is Elphaba Thorpe, and her name equals Donald Trump in 2 ciphers, and in the same cipher as witchcraft and sorceries. So there you go. Also, her name equals Ozzy Osbourne. I was just making a connection with her and Ozzy Osbourne, or with this show and Ozzy Osbourne. So get ready for some interesting stuff with black. Are they finally going to do the blackout symbolism that they've been pointing to? Is that finally going to be on the table, Because we're talking about the black cube, blackness, black, This witch in the show, she's wearing all black. And she is black. The actress that plays her is black. Now let me tell you how this connects to Seattle. Well, these 2 witches on the top of this, on this cover, this is the Wicked Witch of the West, and this is the Good Witch of the North. Do you guys understand what they're telling you right here with these 2 witches? They're telling you northwest. This is the Witch of the West. This is the Witch of the North. This is northwest. And what city was I just talking about that's in the northwest with the Space Needle? Oh, it's Seattle, guys. Seattle is in Washington in the northwest. And the front of this cover is the Wicked Witch of the North and the Wicked Witch of the West, or the Witch of the North and the Witch of the West. Okay, so it's perfect. And don't forget, Seattle's called Emerald City, and this whole show is connected to the Emerald City. Okay, so it's too perfect. Now this does tie back to a lot of other things. Let me find what I was looking for here. Hold on. Oh, just so you guys know, with the War Pigs thing, the song by so remember that song by Black Sabbath is called War Pigs. Then War Pigs equals Saturn equals Land of Oz. So if you guys don't understand this as Saturn by now, I don't know what else to say. I mean, look at this. Saturn equals War Pigs equals Land of Oz. Okay? And multiple ciphers. And, that's just how it all comes together. It all comes together with this Saturn connection. Again, the black, the cube, it all comes together. Now, I haven't even gotten to the good part yet. So the 82s, I told you that Black Sabbath equals 82 and 28. From the release of War Pigs to War Games coming up is 2828 weeks and 2 days. So all 8s and 2s. And Black Sabbath 82 and 28, like Vancouver, British Columbia equals 282. And War Games equals 82. Okay, like Seattle. Now look at this, guys. War Games in Seattle. I kind of already went over all this. I put this in the slide, but War Games in Vancouver equals 82, and it has all these numbers connecting right back. And look, Good Witch of the North, which is this one, played by Ariana Grande. Good Witch of the North equals 82, like the writer of The Wizard of Oz, Lyman Frank Baum. Okay? And that Frank in the middle of his name connects back to Trump because the rabbit in Donnie Darko, okay? The rabbit in Donnie Darko is named Frank, and in Gematria, Frank and Donald are a match, okay? Anytime you see the word Frank, it connects back to Donald Trump. So Lyman Frank Baum. And I think this Black Witch is basically symbolic of Trump. Everyone thinks that Trump is going to lead them to higher places, right? That all these people who are sucked in by the charade of Donald Trump, and they think that he's going to lift them up into his good place, but they have no idea the darkness, that he could be lifting them to, right? They believe this guy is a savior, yet he is the one who declared Operation Warp Speed. They believe that Trump is the savior because he's going to make America great again. But they tend to forget that Trump led them and pushed out vaccinations. And that's why the COVID equals 82 and 28, like Black Sabbath. Okay. But here's where it gets crazy. You know, I just showed you all the 82s, all the 28s. Okay. But what about Ozzy Osbourne? His whole career seems to be kind of connected to this 82 and 28. Look at this. So The Wizard of Oz came out, right? And from the release of The Wizard of Oz to the birth of Ozzy Osbourne is 3,403 days. And that's a perfect number to have for him because that's the 82nd triangular number, which is a very hard number to land on. And again, he's born on 82 date numerology, Ozzy Osbourne. He played in the band Black Sabbath, which equals 82, and he's born 82 triangular days after The Wizard of Oz. Okay? And look, he's from Marston Green. He's from a place called Marston Green, guys. Marston Green. Wow. So there's a Mars connection here. You have the name of the town he's from, Marston Green. And the witch in the movie is green, right? So there's a connection there. But how crazy, you know? And Adam Weishaupt did die at 82. Yeah, that's a good connection as well. But yeah, 82, guys. 82 triangular between Wizard of Oz and Ozzy Osbourne. He's born on 82 date numerology. His band equals 82. And the whole thing coming around his birthday coming up is War Games. And they're using his song for this show. Okay? Almost done, guys, with the presentation. Actually, I am done with the presentation, but let's look more into this. Let's look more into this Ozzy Osbourne connection because Ozzy Osbourne, right, connected to the witches in the song, his lyrics say, generals gather in their masses like witches at black masses. Well, Ozzy Osbourne is the British singer, right? Aleister Crowley was a magician, a British magician, okay? He died on December 1st, 1947, okay? So Crowley, if you measure from Crowley's death to Ozzy Osbourne's birth, let me show you. So Crowley died in 1947 on December 1st. Just looking for a connection, guys. Hold on. Oh, and Ozzy Osbourne was born on December 3rd, 1948. So they were born 369 days apart, guys. 369. Of course, you guys know this number from The Secret to the Universe from Nikola Tesla. So interesting that Aleister Crowley and Ozzy Osbourne born 369 days apart. That's also 12 months and 3 days. Like 1, 2, 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Well, Ozzy Osbourne was born on 1, 2, 3. And he was born in the moon was in lunation 3, 2, 1. So 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. I totally forgot to say he was born on the day leaving 28 days in the year, guys. So he was born on 82 date numerology. 12 plus 3 plus 19 plus 48 equals 82. He was born on the day leaving 28 days in the year. And the other date numerology for his birth was 28. So that should bring it together even more as to why he was born the 82nd triangular days after the Wizard of Oz, and his band equals 82 and 28. Let's just bring those numbers up again. Like Saturday, like Wicked, like Faba, the writer of Wizard of Oz, the Good Witch of the North, Seattle, COVID, Pfizer, Scythe, Black Sabbath, all have that 8228. So yeah, something is syncing up with all these, and this Ozzy Osbourne's birthday. Okay, I'm wondering if we get something on his birthday, because again, I told you a few days before that this year they're going to be having the War Games on November 30th, and that's Black Friday. Let's see. Hold on. So going back to the Mehmet Oz thing. So anyway, the Aleister Crowley thing, I kind of just wanted to bring that up because Crowley was a magician, like a witch, a magician, right? And the magic stuff has been very big this year. And it's not a coincidence that Crowley is connected to King Charles and to Ozzy Osbourne. Now, I want to talk about Dr. Oz a minute because he was born in Cleveland, Ohio. And of course, he's connected with the health stuff, right? And the health stuff goes right back to this 82 thing, because COVID equals 82 and 28. And so does the company, right? But yeah, I think there's probably more with Mehmet Oz, but I didn't find anything particular. I kind of threw this thing together fast, and again, the War Pigs thing, I would really watch for, because they're really using this song for the WWE event coming up. Let's see. What else did I want to talk about? I need to look more into this Walpurgis Night thing, because this is where the War Pigs came from. And don't forget, guys, in the Bible, let me just show you. Jesus sends evil spirits into swine. The story of Jesus exorcising a demon or demons out of a man into a herd of swine. Okay? Causing the swine to run down the hill into a lake and drown themselves. So this is, oh my gosh, this is in Matthew 8:28. Hold on a second. Is that really Matthew 8:28? Because if that's Matthew 8:28, it makes all the sense in the world. Let me bring up the KJV. Yeah, there is an 82 on the COVID pill as well. Have you guys ever seen that? The Merck pill with the 82 on it? Wow, guys. So this is really in Matthew 8:28. Oh, I was just talking about this number, guys. These two numbers, 82 and 28. And when he came to the other side in the country of Gergenesis, however you say that, Gergesenes, I guess, there met him two possessed devils coming out of the tombs, exceeding fierce, so that no man might pass. So this whole thing with the swine and the pigs, it starts in 8:28. And of course, Ozzy Osbourne has the song called War Pigs. And in that chapter, he's talking about sending the pigs into the swine, right? Casey Jones with a good connection in the chat. The 82nd element is lead, the alchemical element of Saturn. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's just pull that up. Let's see if it comes up. Sorry, guys, my computer gets very slow. Lead is the first and oldest of the 7 metals. The symbol for lead was also used to represent the planet Saturn. See, look at that, guys. I mean, it all comes together, right? It all comes together. Lead on periodic right there it is. Lead, the 82nd element. So this number 82 obviously connects to Saturn, right? The symbol for lead was also used to represent Saturn. All this 82 business. I mean, look at this. He was born 82nd prime days after the Wizard of Oz. And here's another one for you guys. What are the letters in Oz? O-Z, right? The 15th letter and the 26th letter. Okay, so watch this. I told you this is all connected to the Emerald City, which is Seattle, Washington. Well, Seattle, Washington. Seattle, Washington equals 1526 in standard gematria. And that's the letters O-Z. O is the 15th letter. Z is the 26th letter. So literally, Seattle, Washington being called the Emerald City and it equaling 1526, like the letters O-Z is Oz. And that's I just think that's perfect, man. O-Z, 15 and 26. And this guy, his name is, of course, Ozzy Osbourne with the S, but he usually spells it with the Z's, right? But yeah, going back to the Walpurgis, Saint Walpurga was hailed by the Christians of Germany. Funny how this all goes back to Germany. For battling pest, rabies, and whooping cough, as well as against witchcraft. Christians prayed to the god through the intercession of Saint Walpurga in order to protect themselves from witchcraft. As Saint Walpurga was successful in converting the local populace to Christianity. In parts of Europe, people continued to light bonfires on Saint Walpurga's Eve in order to ward off evil spirits and witches. Others have historically made Christian pilgrimages to Saint Walpurga's tomb in Eichstätt. This is in Bavaria, guys. Wow, guys. Here I am in Bavaria, Germany, and it seems to always come back to Bavaria, Germany. Look at this. Eichstätt in Bavaria, Germany, where they would go to pray. They would make a pilgrimage to the tomb, to St. Walpurga's tomb in Eichstätt, Bavaria. So literally, St. Walpurga is buried in Bavaria. Okay. Where does Trump's family come from? Bavaria, or what used to be the Kingdom of Bavaria. Yeah, Ozzy was born 3388 days after the Wizard of Oz. That's a good one, Smith W. Well, it depends on which one you measure it from, because I showed here he's born 82nd prime or triangular days after Wizard of Oz, and that's the gematria of his band, Black Sabbath, and he's born on 82 date numerology, and we just found out that lead is the 82nd element, which is the alchemical connection with Saturn, okay? But yeah, if you go from the other date of the release, August 25th, 1939, the Wizard of Oz, he was born 338 days after the Wizard of Oz. So you have your 33 and your 88. And look at that, 111. 111 months and 8 days. Or 111 months and 9 days. But don't forget that 111. That 111 is a big number I showed you earlier. Because Mehmet Oz 111, sorceries, witchcraft. Oh Lord, yeah. So in the song War Pigs, he always sings "Oh Lord, yeah," which equals 111. Of course, the V word equals 111. So yeah, that's a good addition. And don't forget, Aleister Crowley also went to Germany. Elvis also went to Germany. Also, considering Jurassic Liars has done plenty of work on Elvis and the connection to Seattle, well, what are the chances that this... Let me show you this. So if you guys haven't seen Jurassic Liars work, he talks about how Seattle is connected to Elvis, okay? Well, the star of this movie is Cynthia Erivo. Well, first of all, let me show you her full name, guys. Her full name, Cynthia Erivo, equals 201. How about that? So the full name of the Wicked Witch of the West in this movie, her real name equals 201. Okay. Also, don't forget the word Saturn worship equals 201 and 66. Look at this. Seattle worship equals Ozzy Osbourne. I mean, come on. How much more obvious does it get now? I mean, Ozzy Osbourne equals Saturn worship in 2 ciphers. So, I mean, just more proof. I mean, I don't know how you can deny that, especially what I've already shown you. Anyways, I mean, I didn't know that. I did not know he equaled Saturn worship. Excuse me. But anyway, Cynthia Erivo, the star of The Wicked, she's born on Elvis's birthday. And of course, Elvis is El, and she plays Elphaba. She plays Elphaba. She's born on Elvis's birthday. She's born on Elvis's 52nd birthday. Of course, he was dead by then, but... So let's see how many weeks old she's going to be during War Games. So measure from her birth, January 8th, 1987. This is big, guys. January 8th, 1987, the birth of the Wicked Witch, to the upcoming days. So on the 28th, of this month, this Cynthia, who's born on Elvis's birthday, she will turn 1977 weeks old. And Elvis died in 1977, guys. She has Elvis's birthday, and right after she releases her movie where she plays Elphaba, like Elvis, Elphaba, Elvis. Right after this movie releases, she's going to turn Elvis's death, the year of his death, in weeks. She's going to turn 1977 weeks. And don't forget, they just released the Elvis show, Elvis Return of the... Look at this. They just released this right before all this. Watch Return of the King, the Fall and Rise of Elvis Presley. Let's try to bring this up here. Hold on. Let me close some pages. Oh, look at Elvis wearing all black. And this is a clear connection to Saturn again, guys. because he's wearing the all black. Okay. The Return of the King. What does that remind you of? That reminds you of the Lord of the Rings, The Return of the King. Lord of the Rings is all about Saturn, guys. So let's take this whole gematria. And again, guys, this just released like 2 weeks ago on King Charles' birthday, or like a day before his birthday. And I've already showed you guys how King Charles and Elvis Presley are connected. But look at this. The full name of this show equals 216, guys. 216 is the product of 6 times 6 times 6. 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. And the full name of this show equals 216. Not only that, this show is about Elvis Aaron Presley. Which equals 216. Okay? So that was completely coded, you know. Elvis Aaron Presley equals 216. Return of the King, the fall and rise of Elvis Presley, 216. Okay? 6 times 6 times 6 equals 216. And don't forget, the Return of the King is Lord of the Rings. And Elvis was known for getting his inspiration from darker complected people. He's also known for being in Hawaii, where the first black president was from. All right. So, yeah, maybe I need to do a whole look into this. But yeah, let me bring up Return of the King. And it's also super obvious that Lord of the Rings, Return of the King is all about Saturn, the rings, right? So again, this Elvis thing is also all about Saturn. That's why they're calling it Return of the King. Let's see what the fall and rise of Elvis Presley is. The fall and rise of Elvis Presley, 322, guys. 322. And in the same cipher as Taking Care of Business, or not in the same cipher, but so Elvis's catchphrase was taking care of business. And the other part of that show is called The Fall and Rise of Elvis Presley, which equals 322, like his catchphrase, taking care of business. And of course, you guys know the Skull and Bones, 322, Brotherhood of Death, which is Saturn. But yeah, that's interesting. Somebody's asking me to do a decode on the September 11th helicopter crash of Patriarch Petros. Yeah, maybe I'll have time to do that. I don't know. If I find something, I'll look into it. Yeah. But yeah, thank you for bringing that up. I'll look into it. Let's go into the chat. Let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see. So hit me with your best info in the chat, guys. I've got my eyes on the chat, and we'll start wrapping it up here soon. Yeah, regardless of what you think about the channel or that, there's still a clear Elvis riddle here. So that's why they just released a show, Return of the King, Elvis Presley. I'm not saying he's anything. I'm not saying anyone's anything. I'm just showing you the code. So I normally don't talk about I don't always talk about Elvis on here, but when the code comes in with the Elvis stuff, it has to be talked about. I'm not going to shy away from it. Jurassic Liars is the one who talks about that. So let's see. Yeah, Seattle was in King County. I forgot about that. Of course, I don't know why I forgot that. Seattle's in King County in Washington State, which that all connects back. Um, yeah, I'm done talking about Elvis now, Thomasina. Okay, Thomasina. Wait, who's? Yeah, so Thomasina, I'm done talking about Elvis. Okay, but I mean, I just needed to bring that up for sure. You should be more interested in the code rather than what I'm talking about. That's what I'm here to do is show the code. What don't I understand? Yeah, I'm sorry. It feels like you're being haunted by Elvis. I'm not trying to haunt you with Elvis. I'm just talking about something that I plan to talk about. So I didn't intentionally haunt you with Elvis. So no hard feelings. But anyways, going back to this whole connection, with the Oz, Dr. Oz, Ozzy Osbourne. Please hit those like buttons, guys. I got 159 of you in the chat and only 102 likes, so please hit the likes. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I know what he believes, Thomasina. I've watched his channel a lot. I know all about his info. Someone in the Andrew Carpenter says the Fed is 111 years old next month. Well, that's interesting. That might not be a good sign. 111 years. Yeah, I mean, I've always been telling you guys, the Fed, the dollar, something might happen with the money. But if you guys don't have anything to add, I'm going to start wrapping this up. Is there anyone that wants to jump on the stream? I can go another 20 minutes. So if there's anyone that wants to jump on the stream and share anything, I'll leave the link in the chat, but it can't take too long because I don't want to be on much longer. My girlfriend's she's going to sleep soon. Thank you guys for hitting the like buttons. Appreciate you. So the link is in the chat. I've got 20 minutes for people to jump on and share anything they saw. Craig is wanting me to decode a plane crash on September 11th, 2004. Yeah, I mean, that sounds interesting. I'll have to look into it. Rebecca Carrington says Alphaba sounds like alphabet. Yeah, that's a good one. Which is used for the spelling, which is cast spells. Yeah, the name alphabet comes from the first two Hebrew letters, Aleph and Bet. In gematria values, yeah. Well, that's a good catch because that could be the connection there with the spells and the witch. There's I haven't watched the movie, guys, but I'm sure there's a lot more to decode about that Wicked movie. And don't forget, wicked equals 28 as well. Like I was talking about all the 28s. But wicked also equals Satan, you know. So Satan equals 55. Wicked equals 55. Another number I should bring up is the 107, because the good witch of the north equals 107, like Seattle. I told you Seattle's in the northwest, and this is all connected to Saturn, like Saturday equals wicked. So something might go down on a Saturday again, guys, because it seems like all this kind of stuff is connected to Saturdays. So the next Saturday we have would be November 30th, which again is the date of the War Games. Let's see how old Donald Trump will be on the War Games. Also, Donald Trump has a lot of interesting measurements if you measure from his birth. Yeah, let me just show you some of those. So Donald Trump, born June 14th, 1946. And The Wizard of Oz was released on August 10th, 1939. Notice how Trump was born exactly 2,500 days after the release of Wizard of Oz. 25. And Trump does equal 25. Hold on, guys. Sorry. I'm trying to get my stream to come back up so I can see the chat. Yeah, anyways, Trump equals 25. Trump was born exactly 2,500 days after the release of Wizard of Oz, which is 82 months and 4 days. Well, I just did a whole decode about the number 82. So he was born 82 months and 4 days after that. Also, if you go to the secondary release date of Wizard of Oz to Trump's birth, I thought I found another one with that. Hold on. Yeah, so it is interesting. From Trump's birth from Wizard of Oz to Trump's birth was the 70th triangular number. So there might be something with that, because that's so hard to land on a triangular number, guys. Yeah, Biden did walk out 82 minutes late that one time at 2:22. Yeah, I remember that. That's a good connection as well. Black Sabbath, Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, Kampala Harris. I already talked to. I don't know if you're late. I don't know if you're late to the stream, but yeah, I talked about Black Sabbath. That was like the whole decode about Black Sabbath. Claudia Kemp says Ramstein Air Base, Miesenbach, Germany, Rhineland, however you say that, was a 828, 1988. 3 planes crashed. Well, that's interesting, because in the show Manifest, the plan 828 disappears. Let me just bring that comment up. Oh yeah, there was a wrestler in WWE named Gangrel who spit blood on Trump and Melania. Yeah. I'll have to look into that too. Ramstein Air Force Base. Yeah, so interesting. Let me just type in that date. 8/28/1988. 8/28/1988. Ramstein air disaster. Ramstein. It sure was, guys. It was on 8/28. Of course, I always bring up that number because Donald Trump equals 828. This Rammstein air disaster was on 828. Holy moly. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into this because there's a huge plane crash narrative, guys. There's a huge plane crash narrative. Do not be surprised if we get a high profile plane crash at some point, guys. I'm telling you, somebody famous is going to go down in a plane crash. I don't know if it's going to be Trump, it's going to be somebody else, but somebody's going down in a plane crash. I mean, they've given plane crash symbolism in so many different ways, and I think this event here is going to tie into that. So I'm going to look into it more. That was 8/28, 1988. So let me just again, that was a dragon year. $8.28. Oh, that was on an eclipse. Well, there you go, guys. That was on a partial lunar eclipse. So that was definitely an eclipse ritual right there. An eclipse connection for sure. But let's measure from that. Let's just see how old Donald Trump was on that day. I might have a whole decode coming out on plane crash stuff. Wow. Look how old Trump was on that day. Trump was, on the day of the Rammstein crash, Trump was 2222. We know how big of a number that is for Trump. I do think Trump could go down in a plane crash, guys. I don't know. I've seen symbolism for Trump going down in a plane crash. I don't know. I mean, I think it's more likely he gets another, in the head, but I think it's interesting with the plane stuff. Because remember, they did a whole show about Donald Trump, connected to Donald Trump and a plane called Manifest, and that had plane 828. Let me show you that. Or maybe the plane symbolism is all about like a market crash. So yeah, this show Manifest was. Oh, look at that! Somebody's gematria comes up on the Google search. I know this guy too, Georgi. I think I've seen this guy in my comments. I think Georgi, or whatever that. However you say that. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce it. But look, he even has the. This gematria came up on the Google search pictures. Interesting. But yeah, flight 828 in the show Manifest disappears and reappears. And on 8/28, 1988, you had this plane disaster. Donald Trump equals 8/28. Yeah, guys, I'll look more into it, but I don't have anything to say right now other than that. And remember, Trump has a huge Mercury connection with plane crashes, thanks to the help of my friend Casey Jones. Trump flight 302 crashed on Trump's 302 Mercury birthday. So if you look it up, flight 302. On March 10th, 2019, right? Flight 302, okay? Well, March 10th, 2019 was when Trump I mean, you guys got to understand how improbable this is. Trump turns 302 Mercury years old, and on the day he turns 302 Mercury years old, flight 302 crashes. You know? So don't tell me that there's not, that's too perfect. Flight 302 crashes on Trump's 302 Mercury birthday, and Mercury is the god of transportation. So, yeah, there's going to be a whole video coming out with this. There's way more to talk about here, but that's just the initial thing that people need to know. And that's not even the only one. There was another crash on his 322 Mercury birthday this year. Okay. So there's more plane crashes with Trump. And yeah, that's why I sometimes wonder. And he was 72 when that happened. Yeah, guys. So if you guys have anything left to say, I'm going to get ready to end it here. 82 equals 666. Well, that might be a good connection with all this, because I already showed you all the. I saw I missed a comment by Rebecca. Hold on. Yeah, it could be a market crash. Ariana Grande concert. Yeah, there was a bombing at her concert. Yeah. You know, if you go from that, that would actually, the movie that she was just in, that would have released on the month anniversary of that. So 7 years, 6 months, or 2741 days, the 400th prime. Hold on. Whoops. Yeah, that's a good connection, Rebecca. If you guys can read that comment I have on the screen, that's what I need to look more into that too, because there was that bombing. Yeah, Craig, I know you want me to decode that, but again, if I find something, I will definitely share it. With that other plane crash. Cozy says, but the wicked shall be cut off of the earth, and the transgressors shall be rooted out. Oh yeah, War Games does equal 522. Like blood. Yeah, Joseph, I saw that 82 equals 666. Let's see. Thank you guys for the 131 likes. I guess we'll get ready to wrap it up here. And yeah, I'll just, if you guys have anything else to add that you guys saw, I'll just put that in the comments. And yeah, so let's see. Yeah. Anyways, sorry guys. Have a good night out there, and I hope everything is good. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.